hey, hey. Who got the news? Hey, 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 hey. Oh, who got the news? Not this hoe, that's for sure. I promise you that. So, let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Oh, the saga reveal. Thank you for coming back. What's going? Hey, just cause. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate you. We also have who else is in the building? Oh, Carmita. Hey, what's going on? We got Cat, Golden, Arizoki. What's going on? Shy, what's up? Hey, Auntie Leah. Yeah, we back in effect. We back in effect. Pat Blair. We got Miss K. We got the quiet one. Tell me something. Can y'all hear the music okay? Yeah, I'm listening. Oh, I just want to make sure. Hey, what's going on? So, oh, Azaleas, thank you, dear. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, no, like so today's live, we was just over on the set and we were having our conversation over there and things are quite interesting. But no, like seriously, for real, it's kind of crazy to me because I don't think I, I don't know. I don't even know how to like really jump into this conversation without like spazzing. And I don't want to spaz. What I want to do is I just want to slide into the real, slide into what's really going on, and keep it a buck with everybody. I know that this week a lot of people have been talking about Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion, and I know there's a lot of people that are interested in this or interested in that. But the one thing that you guys know about me, and you should definitely know it about me, like stone cold. Misinformation, I'm on. I see misinformation. If I see lies being disseminated, if I see like crazy work going on out there, I gotta jump on it. I gotta know what it's all about because the truth is, so many people miss what's real. They do. They miss what's real. What's real is just not available. And please, everybody, as you come into the room, don't forget to hit the like. And as we venture through, I don't know. I might get on camera. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, I just want to focus on, what we focusing on. Now, this person here, I'm sure I don't have to tell y'all who she is. I even hate the fact of calling her a she. She's more like a it to me. Like this random thing that someone gave birth to, and we're not quite sure what it is. Like I don't even know if I even want to call it human. Yes, that is a baby strapped to her. Um, this is a 40 some odd year old woman who decided that this year for Halloween, she was going to be Krishan Rock. And that thing that's strapped to her is supposed to be the baby Junior. And like she was doing skits with this baby. She had a liquor bottle. She was sitting there pouring, pretending to pour liquor down the throat of the baby and all kinds of stuff. As you see, she fashioned her mouth to have the missing tooth and you know, it was a mess. Wait a minute, is the dopest nerd in the building? Hey, Natanya. what's going on? So yeah, that's that's trash again. One of the biggest disinformationists here on YouTube. One of the biggest. And it was just kind of sad to me because I'm looking at the feeding frenzy. Has anybody been paying attention to what's been going on at all with the Krishan and the Blueface thing? And it's yeah, nobody should want to be a court jester or a clown at 40 something. Um, I know she likes to convince herself that she's funny and she's a comedian, but she's not. She's just a loudmouth clown that stays up in people's business and creates a bunch of chaos for money. And that's really all that is. Um, but well, she's supposed to be being Krishan. So I mean, and no disrespect. I know that people, they got to get their money or whatever the case may be. But Blueface mom, Carlissa, like I'm so glad that I said no and that I did not try to. That I knew it was a bad thing.
So you were supposed to have been on their show
with that auntie's podcast foolishness. You remember? And when we first met,
I know.
and we went over to Oaks and we hung out that night, and we did a little content, and we hung out with Angie, and we got into the pool, and I knew it wasn't right. I knew we were better off doing our own thing. And even though that got complicated, that would have been so much worse.
Oh yeah.
To be there with Tia Kemp, Rose baby mom, Carlissa, like it just that wouldn't have been a right fit for me. Me and Tope, that's one thing. But adding in all that other extra shit, and now I'm sitting there looking like Carlissa's in her 40s, pushing 50, I think. Like I think actually no, I think no, she is 50.
Mm-hmm.
She's like 53. So she's 53, she's filing restraining orders against this 20-year-old girl because Krishan put her hands on her and assaulted her, once upon a time. You know that, right?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. Krishan beat up Blueface mom, Carlissa. They got it on film. I'm sorry. I would not be making any kind of like, yeah, like for money. And then if you just watch and you look at what's going on now. So now Blueface is dealing with Hazel E. And she's sitting there like, well, I didn't know that, you closer to my age. You was calling me mom and you more like my sis. And number one, if she cares about her son, the first thing that she'll do is get him away from Hazel E as quickly as possible. Let's be clear, Hazel E ain't 45. Hazel E lies about her age, in my opinion. And in my opinion, Hazel E, I believe, is either my age or older than me. I'm 48 and a half going on 49. 45 is supposed to be, I guess, acceptable in some way, shape, or form. Everything that she pulled on Cat Williams when she came out talking about Cat had a small winky and talking about he was abusive and liked to hit on women and all of that stuff, like she was trying to line Cat up. She's one of Ray J's minions. She was chasing after that producer boy. Like she's been running after little boys for quite some time. And when that doesn't work, she goes over to Dubai on one of those special trips. Y'all don't remember when she got that nose job and she blamed it on, she said she fell off an ATV and she got a nose job or whatever the case may be. Quiet as kept. And inside person that I know said that she got her ass whooped over there because she was running her mouth to one of them sheiks over there. She went over there for one of them special Dubai trips to get money, and she ran her mouth too much. She got her ass whooped. Allegedly, that's what I heard. Now I'm not saying it's true. This is all alleged, but that's what I heard. And apparently, it was bad enough for her to be able to squeeze a nose job out of it. She needed a nose job though, man. She had a snout on her. But if y'all remember, this is also the same person that was supposed to have been best friends with Tierra Marie. She did Tierra Marie dirty. She knew they was gaslighting Tierra. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out if Carlissa actually wants her son to have a better life. Why in God's name would you be encouraging this tabloid crap? And the truth is, I never paid any attention to them. Now, when they first started blowing up or whatever on social media, it was around the same time that I had went uber viral and I was everywhere and they were, all over me and people I would hear people say that me and my second husband, we were the adult version of Krishan Rock and Blueface. I didn't know what that meant. I wasn't watching them. I didn't pay attention to Zeus. I had no idea what that was all about. So let's just be clear. When I finally became aware of who they were, I'm like, well, who the hell's supposed to be Blueface and who's supposed to be Krishan? Because surely I don't know. I know they don't think I'm Krishan. And more importantly than that, those people are nothing like me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what they were doing. But then I started realizing that they had a sector. Krishan Rock had a sector, just like they put a sector on me. And as I got to know what was going on, I understood what they meant when they said we were the grown up version. They weren't comparing us because we had anything alike. They weren't comparing us because the content was alike. They were comparing us because we were the social media meal. We were the beast. So they would go back and forth. They would follow them. They would follow me. They would go week for week. And all depended on week for week. They could go uber viral doing multiple stories. Like they were making money. A lot of money off of me and my ex and off of Krishan and Blueface. So I get it now. I see why they're so upset. Because now that they're back, and let's be honest, the Blueface and Krishan content, it's not what it once was. Nobody's really interested in it. I think that's why they brought Hazel E in to play his love interest. Because let's be clear, there's nothing real about what's going on. Hazel E don't do real relationships. She don't. And I promise you this: if she don't get what she needs to get out of Zeus, she gonna go haywire all over Carlissa. She gonna make up stories about them, in my opinion. She gonna make up all kinds of crazy stories. But what I will guarantee you is this: she won't try to fight Krishan. That she won't try to do because Hazel E, in my opinion, is a straight up punk. So here we are. This idiot decides to play this girl to make fun of her for Halloween. Everybody sat there online. They watched that girl get drunk. They watched that girl do pharmaceuticals while she was pregnant with that poor child. And now the child is just, I mean, I think it's very clear that Junior is going to be a special needs child.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So for her to actually have had a child, for her to actually be a mother, and to sit there and make fun of a child like that, and people encouraged it, and people laughed. If she wanted to sit there and make fun of Krishan, that's one thing. But to sit there with the baby and then be pouring alcohol down the baby's throat, like, that's not even low key.
That's just horrible.
You're straight up sitting there making fun
Of a child.
of that baby.
Deplorable.
And people sat there and encouraged it. Oh, you didn't know what she was doing? Yeah, that's what she was doing. You want to make fun of Krishan? Fine, make fun of Krishan. But that baby is a victim. That baby's a straight up victim. And salute to everyone in the building. Please don't forget to keep hitting that like. We could use 100 more. Let everybody know we're here. They've been getting a little funny with our numbers these days. For some reason I feel like they're trying to keep us from the world. Like I guess they want us to be a secret here on YouTube. Ever since we hit 100K, they act like they don't know how to let people know we're here. So we gotta do it. So all that being said, let's get into what in the disinformation is going on here on YouTube. Now, let's start with the latest story. Now, I chose this picture for a reason because this is exactly how he should have been looking on social media if the story that just came out about him was true. How many people in here saw the story that came out in the past 24 hours? Actually, I don't even think it's been 24 hours, probably like 18.
Yeah, it ain't all day, but it happened last night, I guess.
Yeah. So 18 hours ago, reports came to the internet that Ja Rule had been attacked by a group of angry men that put hands and feet on him and tore him up in front of Say Less, a sushi hot spot in New York City. Okay. I mean, I think actually, let me just go in the algorithm and let me just take a look right quick. Let me take a look right quick. Let's see how many different people reported on this.
Yeah, a lot of people, right?
Ja Rule jumped. Ja Rule jumped and abused. Ja Rule jumped at Say Less. Ja Rule, like one, two, three. Footage of Ja Rule getting jumped. Footage. And this person got 38,000 views off of this story. Wow, these people did two videos. First, they did he got jumped outside of a New York restaurant 18 hours ago. We were right. And then he came back 6 hours later and said, "We got footage." Same content creator. Now, apparently, Max B got drug into the story. 50 Cent reacts to Ja Rule getting jumped. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And now, all right. So 8 hours ago, Yum Stacy came forward and says Ja Rule shows his face after Trashy K claimed he got jumped at Say Less. This was 8 hours ago. But there were still people putting up, well, okay, Forgotten Kings got on it. That's interesting. Wait a minute, look at this thumbnail. Somebody straight did exactly what I wanted to do. I was going to do a clickbait thumbnail today.
Have them all beat up.
And have them all beat up. But here we go. Ja Rule jumped by Max B crew in New York. Now it's Max B and his crew. This is insane. And this is 3 hours ago, which is a straight up lie that we know now at this point.
Right.
Video of Ja Rule jumped backstage. Forgotten Kings. They actually played that before they came in and corrected it. 50 Cent and Max B react to Ja Rule getting jumped. All urban central, urban culture. Now it's funny. The accounts that wait a minute, Ja Rule knocked out by Max B backstage. So 1 minute it's backstage at the Brandy and Monica show. The other ones, he getting his ass handed to him at Say Less, the sushi spot. What? I think I've read off at least what, 10, 15, 10 or 15 different accounts 16 hours ago. Breaking news. Rapper Ja Rule hurt badly. Ticket TV, 25,000 views. Like 50 cents broke Ja Rule after he got jumped. It didn't happen.
Wow.
Now, let's talk about how crazy this is. Because the one thing that was very clear, the one thing that was very, very, very clear is that it was this clown that started the story. This clown started the story. Pretty much everyone incited that she was the first person to bring this lie. And then it evolved. It evolved. It went from he got, you know, jumped at the restaurant to jumped backstage at the show. And then the next thing you know, he shows his face and he's perfectly fine. And he's laughing. He actually had to address this fool and say, no, this isn't true. No, that's not what happened. No, I'm perfectly fine. No, I'm okay. So my question is this. Is that the whole purpose of her platform? Because a bunch of content creators made a little bit of money today off of their videos about this man being attacked. And guess what? Whether she's right or wrong, guess whose name they're also mentioning now because of the lie? They're mentioning her name as well. Now her name gets kicked back through the algorithm.
Yeah, it's like the queen of misinformation. Just it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, of course, the second that you hear it was her, you gotta go and research for yourself because everyone knows she's a liar. But is everybody peeping the game that I'm putting y'all onto? Whether she's telling the truth or whether she's lying, people are talking about her name again. I don't think people have realized her name is taking a hit in these algorithms. She's not as popular as she used to be. Her videos ain't popping as much as they used to pop. And she has to work a lot harder to get people to show up to her platform for any real reason. Most of the time, she's most interested in getting people over there to that website. But once it gets to the point where you're completely discredited, it's harder to get people to invest in your bullshit. So the only other option that she has is to create as much fake news as she possibly can, get people to talk about her, get people to spread the story around because you got to understand, once upon a time, it was her and her lying ass content that fed the sectors. She would start the live, and then about 50 to 75 different content creators would run with their own versions of the story and run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. And whether or not It was true or not. Didn't matter. And the second that it was refuted and it was a lie, then everybody got to make another video about it being a lie. Or some people would double down and say, hey, I still believe it's true. I think it's this. I think it's that. It's all for clickbait. It's all for engagement. And people fall for it. People fall for it. Every time. The question is, if it's somebody that's really not on the app like that, they come on and they see a lying ass story and they believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And boom, they move on with their life. Next thing you know, they're out there in the world. Did you hear? Did you hear Ja Rule got beat up? Ja Rule, oh my God, he got jumped. He got jumped at a. No, he didn't. He got That was him and Max B at the Brandy concert.
It's yeah. Misinformation just
Misinformation all over the place. So I just wanted to just take a quick examination of exactly how many stories she's gotten wrong in the past 90 days.
I see where you're going.
Let's do that. Let us let us see how many stories this goofball has actually gotten wrong.
Where you gonna go from the most impactful or least impactful to the most impactful? Where you going?
Well, let's talk about Matt Barnes. She looked like she got saved breath and she be telling all them lies. I hear you. I hear you. I feel you. I feel your pain when it comes to that. I do. Um, because once upon a time she made a lot of money, and to a certain extent, she's still making money off of selling lies about me. She put that lying ass so-called documentary about me up on Amazon. Can't wait to sue her for every penny. Can't wait. Now, this guy, somebody said that's a that's somebody who puts their hands on women. Yes, like me years ago, I believed a lot because I wasn't online. I don't have social media. I just believe the headlines. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh, Amazon, listen to me. All of these platforms, all they're interested in doing is making money. That's it. That's all they're interested in doing is making money. Now, let's get into this Matt Barnes story. Matt Barnes recently came forward and said that he was being extorted by a woman who he never had any real interaction with, who was working with Trasha K. She was feeding Trasha K a bunch of weirdo stories. Trasha K was going live online, talking about him, whoopty whoopty woo. She was extorting him. He finally told his wife about it. Stop paying the girl, and they're both. Now he's saying that there's recordings that the recordings have been AI'd, and of course Trasha K is sitting to the story. I didn't know. The girl gave it to me. How was I supposed to know it was AI? Well, she should know it's AI. She's very well attuned to using AI. And for those of you who don't know, you can go into my members. May 14th of this year, I had a conversation with my son, who sat down with Tasha K last year, and he admitted that she AI'd his interview to say a bunch of disrespectful things about me, his mother.
Look like another lawsuit.
She's very, 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 very well adept. Honestly, if I was him, I'd be not just suing, but asking for them to turn over the tapes and to review the metadata. Because I wouldn't be surprised if Tasha K was AI and all of that crap herself. I wouldn't be surprised. Not at all. But see, this is what we're talking about. Like, this is what she keeps getting away with over and over and over and over again. You know, there was also another story that happened not long ago. It was all involving Cat Williams and his brother.
Mm.
You guys remember that? And she had people running over to her website paying for that interview. You guys remember? Cat Williams' brother. What's his name? Steven.
Steve.
I wonder how much money she made off of that interview. I do know that there were a lot of content creators that were very upset about it because they said he sounded like he was lying. They said, you know, it's an epic fail, and they were mad that they wasted their $12.99 to go and see that crap. And then not long after that, I believe she had to take it down because she heard from someone in they have AI videos that make you think you're talking to a real person. Yeah, yeah, but it's AI. I know. I know. AI is very serious. It's very, very, very serious. And we all need to be a little concerned about what's going on with that. And be careful with your images. Be careful with your data. Because what happens when they start using AI to frame people? Oh, that's right. They've already done it. They did it to me.
Mm.
They tried to frame me for a couple of things with AI. But how many people remember this? Now, a bunch of people have been coming after Cat Williams. And are we even going to talk about the fact that nobody was talking about the lawsuit? The Cat Williams lawsuit? I don't think anybody talked about that except for one content creator. And I'll shout her out, Pam Esquire.
She's the only one. She's the only one.
She's the only person that I saw even cover this. And you want to know what's funny? I had never heard anything about it. Never heard anything about it. Put a one in the chat if any of you heard that Cat Williams was in a lawsuit where four women had accused him of SA. Put a one in the chat if you ever heard that Cat Williams was being sued by four women for SA. Put a two in the chat if you've never heard of it either, because I didn't. One in the chat if you heard about him.
You figure that would have been major. I ain't heard it.
Two in the chat if you never heard it. Oh, a lot of twos here. Hey, Mo Gigi, a lot of twos here.
I never heard it.
Don't compromise quality insurance for savings.
So we're just gonna take a little gander, take a little listens. One second. Pam Esquire, fair
And
use.
perhaps you all can be so kind as to do the same thing. The more the merrier, all right? We're trying to grow over here. But thank you all so much for all of the support that I have thus far. Most of you probably have no clue what lawsuit I'm talking about and what facts, because I don't know if that has been covered anywhere else. I am going to tell you, we're going to go over what the lawsuit was, and that on, I think it was Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday the case got dismissed. But it was a lot of little things in between. We had an attorney that got sanctioned for AI in this case. Yeah, it was a few things going on over there in Georgia. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Pause. Did anybody hear that? Can you guys hear the commentary that I was just sharing with you? Let me rewind that a little bit.
Cat Williams getting in trouble, and then we just don't hear nothing else. He is always out here winning and winning and winning and winning, and that's like it. So, because many of you probably have no clue what lawsuit I'm talking about and what facts, because I don't know if that has been covered anywhere else, I am going to tell you, we're going to go over what the lawsuit was, and that on, I think it was Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday the case got dismissed. But it was a lot of little things in between. We had an attorney that got sanctioned for AI in this case. Yeah, it was a few things going on over there in Georgia. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If that's
Pause. And shout out to Pam Esquire. Anybody who wants to see this video, I think I actually might link it to the description so you can go and watch it. Actually, no, Cat Williams is in Mississippi, where his studio is. But this case was in Georgia. Yeah, the attorney was sanctioned for using AI.
It's supposed to be a real photo. Just FYI. I'm looking at
Oh God,
it.
I can't.
I know. Speaking of AI, that ain't AI though.
The picture?
Well, I'm gonna look more into it, but
Well, let's listen a little bit more. Pam Esquire. And this video happened 11 days ago, and she said it happened before that. So this case that none of us have heard of
Yeah.
was dismissed 2 weeks ago. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff.
it's okay with y'all, okay? But make sure you hit that like button. Let me speak to some of you all. Hey, Aaliyah. Hey, Patty.
Yeah.
It's never been the same. Never been the same since. Hey, Only Me. Good to see. They're not really long documents, but I did want to obviously go over the complaint so you guys know what I'm talking about. And then the judgment was a few shoot. Yeah, judgment was pretty okay in length. And then there was a sanction order as well. So it was a lot that went on in this case. But the facts of it may trigger some of your memories because I believe this was 2017 or 2018 when this alleged assault happened and we saw the mugshot. Because I think he was indicted as well. But all of this information is going to be in this complaint that we are about to pull up right now. And there are 4 women that are the plaintiffs on this here case. Yes, if you guys have not subscribed to my other channel, make sure you subscribe to that. We're not going to talk about much legal over there. You know, we're going to talk about any and everything over there. But go subscribe over there too. That I would greatly appreciate that. But, you know, most.
Now, this case is on Pacer, which is funny because so many content creators are on Pacer here on YouTube. And they're always on Pacer looking for a case to run online and use for content. Why did nobody report on this?
that's I'm saying.
And you know what? Since now we know that so many people missed out on it, maybe we should grab it. And maybe we should review it here.
Yeah.
Put a 1 in the chat if you guys would like to review this Cat Williams case that recently got dismissed. Now, I just want to go and I want to do a little more research here because I'm trying to remember exactly when Stephen Williams did his interview with Trish. Oh, this was 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago, a month ago, between 3 weeks and a month ago, Trashy K she literally tried to expose Cat Williams using his brother's false testimony, labeling him as a PDFer. And she was very unsuccessful in convincing people or convincing him to admit that Cat had done something to him because that's what she kept trying to insinuate. Matter of fact, I think I might be able to. I might be able to pull up a little something because I think. Hold on a second. Is it? Let me see if I can find the school. It was funny because we ran into him in New York. Matter of fact, we interviewed him in New York when he was so busy trying to convince us that nobody on the jury was gonna believe anything Diddy was gonna get off scot-free. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they had a script for that trial. How do you spell his name?
What name?
Here it is. I couldn't keep up. With it. But wait a minute. Let me go back. Jesus, he does a lot of videos. I tell you that. Gotta give him that. He do a lot of videos. Now, I'm trying to think. Hold on a second, guys. I'm looking for this. What do we got going on? Okay. Diddy. He was all over that Diddy stuff. Heavy. Here we go. I found it. And look at the numbers. The numbers are terrible. Numbers. I guess that's why he makes so many damn videos. But hold on a second. I'm gonna get y'all a little bit fair use. We'll credit Uda Ongo here on YouTube. Apparently, same height and all. One's just voice is just higher than the other. You know what I'm saying? One's more famous than the other. Okay. There was some speculation about whether or not Cat Williams had a brother. So of course we had to ask the people in Hollywood that bring the dope allegedly to the parties. So we're gonna let them tell you, okay? Then we're gonna get into our wine. Let's get it like here it goes. Just I know. Okay, good. He did it. Okay, so anyway, this is her, and she's talking about Cat Williams and his brother. It's like, y'all. Fair use credit goes to Buddha.
Here's what I'm gonna say: is that you know I don't have any intention. Like these stories, I do not go looking for these stories. They come to me, and they have to have some credibility to them in order to make it to my platform. Now, do we take fuck shit? Absolutely. But when it comes to things that are a reputational risk, we're not playing with nobody like that. And like I said, we were fans of Cat.
We were.
Because there are people that
We were fans of Cat. Do y'all hear this? This is her commentary. This is how she's setting up to convince people to come and pay $12.99 to come over to her website. Now it's wild because fast forward, she had to take the interview down because come to find out, this gentleman, this kindly gentleman here on the screen, had just been released from a mental hospital and has a long history of being in and out of mental hospitals, and he's mentally incompetent. And he lied about everything. She said Cat Williams called her himself. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Because if she had been on the phone with Cat Williams, she would have recorded it and she would have played it for content.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, $12.99. That's what she charged people to bring this man up there to lie on his brother. And she couldn't even get him to lie all the way. Not even a crazy person was crazy enough to tell the lies that she wanted him to say.
are contacting that, and like I said, we were fans of Cat. Because there are people that are contacting bloggers that don't even know Steve with similar information. So how did people you? And so I do ask you guys to just you don't have to believe it. I don't want you to believe it, but just put it in the back of your mind like you always do, like you did to Gina, like you did to R. Kelly stuff. Like, just put it in the back of your mind, hold it there for a rainy day. And when you need to come back and pull.
So this just dropped. Let's continue because
we will.
Yeah.
So let's do y'all hear this? She said you might not want to believe it now, but keep it in the back of your mind for a rainy day. You might want to come back to this. That's funny. Not even she wants to come back to it because she took it down after she found out that there was documented proof that this man had been in and out of mental facilities for God knows how long. And she couldn't even get him to successfully lie. Like there was a part in the interview where she kept trying to tell him about her story, about how her mother let her boyfriends essay her when she was a child, and trying to get Steven to agree that that's what Cat Williams had done to him. Like she literally tried to coach him into making a PDF out of his own brother.
Shit and put some shit together, then you could be like, okay, I see it here. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say this, and like I said yesterday on Shoot Shot, confusion. And I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in truth. I believe in God, okay? But I'm not a Christian. Here's the thing. There are several scriptures in the Bible that I've read. I grew up under the Baptist church and everything like that. And there's one scripture in particular that, and I can't remember the scripture, so my preachers and my pastors, my bishops, my first ladies in the chat, my Bible readers, okay? The devil is the author of confusion.
Pause. Number one of her larger view videos was her interviewing a red witch on her channel. I think it was the week after she interviewed Julie McKnight regarding her book and her marriage to Brian McKnight. And She interviewed a whole witch. She's pretty much. I mean, I've seen her have satanic meltdowns in some of her interviews in that wine room. It's kind of crazy. But wait a second. The first things first. Wait a minute. Here, come through, Natanya. The scripture is God is not the author of confusion. She needs to stay away from the godly realm. She ain't even about that life. I couldn't agree more, sis. But I find it very funny that she was busy, trying to attach anything and everything that she could to try to give validity to why people needed to come and watch this interview with this mentally ill man who she brought on her platform to lie on his brother and paint him out to be a PDFer. And this all happened about a week and a half before that lawsuit was dismissed. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? It's almost like they lined it, the way they line these things up to destroy someone's character in the media and the public eye. It's very interesting. But let's listen a little bit more. Hold on. And there's a reason why we're listening. And once again, the credit goes to Udo on Go. Let's listen to. You ever heard that before? The devil is the author of confusion? Wow. Look at this. 94% of people believe company culture is important. What they say? The devil lives in confusion. And they create confusion. That's why idle mind is the devil's playground, because you're confused. And I do want to say this, that when you watch this interview tonight, it's going to piss you off. I'm not even going to fucking gap, okay? It's going to piss you off. You're going to be mad at him. You're going to be mad at somebody. Because it's going to rattle your nerves in ways that you may even turn off the interview. I don't know. I just know that when I tell you to just keep your mind open, if it's a lie, it's a lie. But when things start to unravel over the next couple of months from multiple bloggers, it's not just me, okay? So it's not just me. Steve is his brother. Steve is his baby brother. Steve has a story. Steve was courageous enough to finally come out and say something. There was a man on Kat's team that was unalived by Kat's bodyguard. His name was Reggie Carroll. And I know there was video footage put out that, Reggie Carroll somehow was waving a gun on camera. But my thing is, if this was in fact... Pause. Do y'all hear how she's lining this up? Do y'all hear how she's lining this up? Now she's talking about this interview and she's saying everything that she needs to say. Oh, it could be a lie, but I'm telling you, this interview, you need to come see this interview because, it's not just me, it's other content creators. Has anybody else interviewed Steven since she did?
Not at all.
No one. No one has touched him. No one will. You want to know what's funny? He came to us a year ago and we turned him down. We didn't even know about his mental health background.
We just wasn't with it.
We just knew where he was going with it. We didn't want to have no part of it. We knew it was off. It's the lies for me. It's the commitment to lie. Because it's going to rattle your nerves in ways that you may even turn off the interview. Do you hear that? She's telling you that what she's going to show you for $12.99 on her website, it's going to rattle you. She's literally trying to make this salacious so people will want to come and pay to hear this.
That's why I wanted to go, and I don't even have to comment too much about, because I'm on her Twitter right now looking, y'all, and there's some crap or whatever, blah blah blah, that she's spewing. But what do you see down here at the bottom? She has something about
free consultations.
Listen, she's hustling. She got an article up here about something that DJ Academics and audio that leaked, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
Keep the game, keep the game. Look, check this out. What it is this. What do you see at the end? Well, you ain't gotta say it. I don't want to get too much shine out of something. Okay, here it is. So it's about a minute of that, and then look, it's at the end of it.
Oh,
This is at the
wow.
end of it.
She's hustling a bankruptcy attorney.
It's not look, just like you said, she's hustling the go to my website and go watch this interview. So people gonna go over there and go watch this, and then she doesn't put it out there publicly,
Yeah.
and then
To
she makes her little money.
To save herself from being sued.
Right. She get her little money. It's a cash grab. That's it. It's a smash and grab. This is one right here too. I've never seen someone. And this article. I mean that commercial is long. I'm not. It's not like the.
It's longer than the content.
It's longer than the clip.
Hold on a
She's
second.
leveraging her numbers to get paid, y'all.
And she's got this Van Horn bankruptcy attorney, which is funny. Because she still ain't paid Cardi B for lying. Hold up. Fair use. Unbelievable.
Confusion. And they create confusion. That's why idle mind is the devil's playground, because you're confused. And I do want to say this, that when you watch this interview tonight, it's going to piss you off. I'm not even going to fucking cap, okay? It's going to piss you off. You're going to be mad at him. You're going to be mad at somebody. Because it's going to rattle your nerves in ways that you may even turn off the interview. I don't know. I just know that when I tell you to just keep your mind open, if it's a lie, it's a lie. But when things start to unravel over the next couple of months from multiple bloggers, it's not just me, okay? So it's not just me. Steve is his brother. Steve is his baby brother. Steve has a story. Steve was courageous enough to finally come out and say something. There was a man on Kat's team that was unalived by Kat's bodyguard. His name was Reggie Carroll. And I know there was video footage put out that, Reggie Carroll somehow was waving a gun on camera. But my thing is, if this was in fact self-defense, which Reggie's body was found, he was an employee of Cat on Cat's property that Cat rented in his company's name, and his body was found days later. And I don't talk about death, but I do have to, when people get wronged in ways, it's kind of like you got to say something, because if not, things will get buried. And the issue that we have here is that if it was truly self-defense, why wasn't the police called when it went down? Hey, there's a man outside.
Pause. Do y'all see what she's doing? Listen to me, Kat. I couldn't agree with you more. I believe her and Candy Pants got a lot in common. I do. She idolizes Candy Pants. She really does. She loves the fact that she got sued by the president of France.
That's the cloud chase.
Oh, yeah, because that's how she gained any kind of halfway notoriety, by lying on Cardi B. Like this person she's mentally ill, in my opinion. I believe she's mentally ill, because anybody who can spend this much time lying on people, lining people up, maligning people's names with no real fact, no real evidence. She's sitting there selling this interview at $12.99, but just to drive home anger towards Cat Williams, because like you heard her say, they were Cat Williams fans. They were Cat Williams fans until she sat down with his brother. And then she starts bringing up Reggie Carroll. Now, let's be clear. Reggie Carroll had absolutely nothing to do with this interview with the brother.
No.
But for a good few weeks, people have been trying to line Cat up with the Reggie Carroll story, blaming Cat for Reggie Carroll's passing and all of that. And guess what? There have been a few new updates. And I'm going to share that with you in a hot second. But I just want you to watch how this devil sits here. And guys, please don't forget to hit the like button. We could use 100 more likes. I want y'all to listen to how she sits here and encourages the audience to grow a hatred in their heart towards Cat by using this story by someone who she really didn't know when they had nothing to do with.
Fired with a gun. Why was he found the next day or the days after and he was shot by your bodyguard that works for you? And Reggie works for you. And as a boss, you as the employer, and you've known Reggie a long time, why haven't you as the boss said condolences to my friend, my fellow comedian, Reggie Carroll? There's a lot of people that are angry about Reggie. A lot. A lot.
You hear it?
And it's kind of. Here's a hot take. If you haven't.
You hear this? So she wants her audience to come over and see this interview, and then she wants to sit there and sell Cat Williams as a bad person, and she wants to say he's responsible for this, and he's responsible for that, and he's got something to hide, and oh my God, whoopty whoopty woo, yada 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 yada, yada yada yada. Well, guess what? The man who actually took Reggie Carroll's life was just on the news 2 days ago. His name is Trinell Williams. And guess what? He has absolutely nothing to do with anything that has anything to do with Cat Williams online. He is literally a hired bodyguard. Like when it first came out, they were trying to make it sound like he was related to Cat Williams because they both had the same last name. Oh, well, you know, that's Cat's cousin, and you know he was going to take him out on behalf of his cousin. I mean, they went through so much trouble. You remember?
They were putting a whole lot.
What, she ever thought that they could have probably intentionally tried to set Cat Williams up with Reggie's unalivement, but it didn't work? You know, it's funny. It's funny because I kind of said the same thing. And if anybody remembers, I sat down with real life street stars. I sat down and I talked about it. And I made it very clear that people were doing everything that they possibly could do to tarnish the name, to dirty the name, to sully the name of anybody who spoke out against the industry or exposed anybody in the industry. Don't forget, this is all around the time where Diddy was about to be sentenced. After the trial, they were still trying to do this time served nonsense. They wanted to destroy everybody. Well, on Fox 13, just a couple of days ago. Now I want y'all to look at these thumbnails that are here. Set up by friends. Cat Williams still quiet. Bodyguard. Reggie Carroll. Unaliver. Trinell goes free. Okay, so they were literally still 2 months ago trying to find a way to hang Reggie Carroll's unalivement on Cat Williams. Even though Cat Williams wasn't there, he was cleared from the investigation. His fingerprints were nowhere near the weapons. None of that was going on. So, you know what? Let's just take a little listen, see, shall we? Let's take a little listen. Fox 13, fair use.
Moments before we sat down one-on-one for this interview, Janelle Williams told me he and his lawyers believe it was time to get his side of the story out. There's witnesses out here, though, bro. I stay right here. I just called Kat. It's witnesses right here, bro. It's witnesses outside, bro. This is video given to me by Trinell Williams. He's a man charged with shooting and killing comedian Reggie Carroll in South Haven in August. Now check this out. In the video, you see and hear Carroll making several threats and even brandishing a gun. So, if someone is showing signs that they are...
Pause. Now, the person that's about to speak next is Trinell Williams, the man who took Reggie Carroll's life. You're going to hear from him in his own words. But the commentary, or should I say the loud yelling that you heard before that was actually Reggie Carroll himself.
I stay right here. I just called Kat. It's witnesses right here, bro. It's witnesses outside, bro. This is video given to me by Trinell Williams. He's a man charged with shooting and killing comedian Reggie Carroll in South Haven in August. Now check this out. In the video, you see and hear Carroll making several threats and even brandishing a gun. So, if someone is showing signs that they are irresponsible with a firearm, if they're constantly making threats with a firearm, we have to intervene early, or that will gradually grow with a snowball effect and grow into a bigger problem. Williams says this is one of several videos he recorded leading up to the August 20th deadly shooting at his home. Williams says moments before the deadly shooting, Carroll threatened him at gunpoint. So this time when he pointed the gun at me, he was blocking the front door. So when I grabbed the weapon that was close by and used it for self-defense and called the police immediately, I was honestly in fear for my life. District Attorney Matthew Barton told Fox 13 Carroll was killed with a shotgun. Williams says he worked as on-call security 24 hours a day for comedian Cat Williams. He lived in this home on Burton Lane in South Haven.
Pause. Fair use. Y'all see how awful these online content creators can be and how much damage they can do? For weeks, people sat here trying to find a way. And it was crazy because meanwhile, there's this lawsuit going on for women accusing Cat Williams of SA. All of this is happening at the same time. We didn't even know about it. I surely didn't. And that case was from all the way back in 2017, 2018. But it just so happened to go to trial now while Diddy was on trial. I bet you they were hoping. I bet you they were hoping that he could be found liable so that they could find a way to run with that. But what I do find interesting is even though they weren't publicizing that because they probably weren't sure how that was going to go, they were willing to use Reggie Carroll's unalivement. And let's be clear, by no means and in no way, shape, or form am I trying to tarnish the name of Reggie Carroll. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to diminish what his loss must have done to his many children and his family members that he has back in Baltimore. In no way, shape, or form do I feel as though he deserved what happened to him. I'm not saying any of that at all. What I am saying is that there were two grown men sharing a house. His name wasn't on the lease, but the man who ended up taking his life, his name was on the lease. They both worked for Cat Williams. And as you heard the man say, and the man who unalived him, who unalived Reggie Carroll, was younger than him by almost 15 years. Now he was taller than him, but Trinell Williams is thin. And everyone, for whatever reason, everyone that knew Reggie Carroll, yes, thank you. The credit goes to Fox 13. Thank you. Thank you, Kat. In Memphis, Tennessee. I want you guys to understand nobody is playing this. You don't see anybody. Look at the views. Look at the views here on even on the Humor Mill. They went to share it. It has less than 400 views. It's been up for 2 days. But the videos lining Cat Williams up go into the thousands. The thousands. But when the truth comes, the views are always very small. Let's listen a little more.
To a company owned by Cat Williams. Janelle Williams says Carol moved into the home while on break from Cat Williams's comedy tour. So from previous experiences, I've already been watching this guy build his confidence up. I've already reported him on several occasions that he's pointing a gun at me. And since he's not being punished, there was nothing to deter him from constantly doing that. Williams says he began recording Carol's interactions, which Williams describes as violent. I was getting more in fear for my life with each time because really think about it, Jeremy. Williams is currently out on bond and wearing an ankle monitor. Williams's case has not yet been presented to a grand jury. He contends his actions were self-defense. Yeah, and Janelle Williams and his lawyers say they are waiting to hear what's next for this case, because again, it has yet to go to a grand jury. Interesting. Certainly the video that we had not seen. It'll be interesting to see what that grand jury does with all of this new information. Thanks, Jeremy.
Something else, ain't it? Trinell Williams had been taping and filming Reggie Carroll. There's a couple of videos where Reggie is literally walking around the house, allegedly carrying a firearm, threatening this young man. Now, I've even heard Corey Holcomb tell a story about how he had to grab Reggie Carroll and pull him out of a club because he had lost control of himself and was about to do damage. MREC talking about the knockout kings of comedy. I mean, people keep calling Reggie Carroll a comedian, but I actually went and researched and took a look at his comedy. This was not going like no disrespect, but there was no shot of him making it to Eddie Murphy status ever. Not even Martin Lawrence status. He wasn't that kind of comedian. I He also worked as a bodyguard as well. He was a bouncer. Like he was a guy who doubled as a bouncer while he was building up his comedy routines and things of that nature. So I'm just trying to understand. This is a guy who has a reputation of being very rough, of being quite the bruiser. Thank you, Raphael. This is a guy who, like, I've heard some of his comedy. It's kind of it's a little abrasive. And he was from Baltimore. And once again, I was not there. I have nothing to do with that situation. But you heard what the young man who said he had to defend himself against Reggie. There was another guy who said he knew him that said that One day he was on the phone with Reggie, and Reggie called him up on the phone and said, "Yeah, this guy, he was talking crap about you. I got him right here, right now. And if you want, I'll break his jaw. I'll do this and I'll do that. You just say the word, and I'll put him down right now." Whoopty whoopty woo. And he told him, he told Reggie, "No, no, you ain't got to do all that, man. You ain't got to do all that, man. Just let him live. It's all right. It's all right. It's cool." Reggie was like, "If you want, I take it. I take it. I put him down right now. Whoopty whoopty whoop." The guy wasn't even there. He literally saw a guy that had a problem with another guy that he knew, and he was ready to attack this guy and got on the phone, pretty much asking for permission. "If you want me to, I'll do this and I'll do that." This is Reggie Carroll was in his 50s. He's in his 50s. I'm sorry, I just don't understand what how does all of this equate to Cat Williams being responsible? How does all of this lead up to Cat Williams being responsible? I'm curious. This is what they do here on YouTube. They sit here and they create all kinds of havoc and all and just salacious, over the top. And so now that you've heard Trinell speak for himself, let me just rewind a little bit here. Because you now just heard Trinell speak for himself. No cat slander allowed. We talking about kitty cat slander? Oh, who we talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I've had so many calls. I'm telling you, today I was on the phone. It was like me and several bloggers. And the amount of information that we were getting daily, I don't think y'all are ready for this. Just like, y'all. I want y'all to think about, listen to the way she lined it up. Listen to the way she set it up. Who are the several bloggers? Who? Who are the several bloggers? Because nobody else has done an interview. All fake news. All fake news. Who? What other blogger sat down and did an interview with Stephen Williams? Nobody. Like I said, Stephen Williams came to us last year. He wanted to sit down with the Jaguar Wright show, and he wanted to do an interview about his brother because he wanted to let me know that his brother wasn't who he claimed to be, and whoopty whoopty woo. We passed on it last year. Last year. Where are the other bloggers? Because we haven't seen any at all. Here's what I'm going to say is that, I don't have any intention. Like, these stories, I do not go looking for these stories. They come to me, and they have to have some credibility to them in order to make it to my platform. Now, do we take fuck shit? Absolutely. But when it comes to things that are a reputational risk, we're not playing with nobody like that. And like I said, we were. They're not playing with nobody like that. Exactly. Sowing seeds. Were fans of Cat. Because there are people that are contacting bloggers that don't even know Steve with similar information. So how are these people? You. Where are all of these people? Where are all of these people contacting all of the other bloggers? If you have information that Cat Williams it is all of these terrible things, then why aren't they running with the stories? Exactly. More seeds. Yep. Discord. Absolutely. And so, I do ask you guys to just you don't have to believe it. I don't want you to believe it, but just put it in the back of your mind like you always do,
like you did to Gina, like you did to R. Kelly stuff. Like, just put it in the back of your mind, hold it there for a rainy day. And when you need to come back and pull some shit, to put some shit together.
Wait a minute. Salute to the dopest nerd. She be looking for stories because she was all in my inbox. Ooh. Probably trying to find a way to discredit you on behalf of whoever it is that's pulling her chain. You know, I tell everybody when you sit with her, be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Because 9 times out of 10, she's either looking for a way to discredit you and devalue you so nobody else will want to interview you, or she's trying to use you to hype up a salacious story to destroy someone's character.
You could be like, okay, I see it here. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to say this, and like I said yesterday on Shoot Shot, confusion. And you know, I'm not a Christian, but I do believe in truth. I believe in God, okay? But I'm not a Christian.
Let's skip over this part.
And I do want to say this, that when you watch this interview tonight, it's going to piss you off. I'm not even going to fucking cap, okay? It's going to piss you off. You're going to be mad at him. You're going to be mad at somebody. Because it's going to rattle your nerves in ways that you may even turn off the interview. I don't know. I just know that when I tell you to just keep your mind open, if it's a lie, it's a lie. But when things start to unravel over the next couple of months from multiple bloggers, it's not just me, okay? So,
do you hear this? How she's sitting there telling everybody, oh, it's going to unravel. It's going to be this. Multiple bloggers. I lie to you not when I tell you these people sit around, they work together, they hunt in groups. They hunt for who they're going to defame. They hunt for who they're going to disgrace. They hunt for who they're going to tear apart. This is what they do. This was a whole plan. The plan to discredit Cat Williams.
not just me. Steve is his brother. Steve is his baby brother. Steve has a story. Steve was courageous enough to finally come out and say something. There was a man on Cat's team that was unalived by Cat's bodyguard. His name was Reggie Carroll. And I know there was video footage put out that Reggie Carroll somehow was waving a gun on camera. But my thing is, if this was in fact self-defense, which Reggie's body was found, he was an employee of.
By the way, everything that she's saying is not true. His body wasn't found. And as you just heard Trinell say, after the incident happened, he called the police. Trinell just said that. The man who was arrested for unaliving Reggie Carroll, the man who's bonded out right now, and the evidence is being prepared. This hasn't even gone to the grand jury. And understand this, how the law works. In order to be indicted for a crime, you have to go through the grand jury. The grand jury has to hear it first. So this happened back in August. Trinell has still not been indicted for the unalivement of Reggie Carroll.
Cat on Cat's property that Cat rented in his company's name, and his body was found days later. And I don't talk about death, but I do have to, when people get wronged in ways, it's kind of like you got to say something, because if not, things will get buried. And the issue that we have here is that if it was truly self-defense, why wasn't the police called when it went down? Hey, there's a man outside with a gun. Why was he found the next day or the days after and he was shot by your bodyguard that works for you? And Reggie works for you. And as a boss, you as the employer, and you've known Reggie a long time.
What does any of this? What does any of this have to do with her interview with Stephen Williams? Any of it? What does Reggie Carroll's passing have to do with Stephen Williams? Nothing. Nothing at all. So you're preparing people to come over and that they're going to be pissed off. They're going to be pissed off. They're going to be pissed off because of the things that Stephen Williams has to say. Meanwhile, what Stephen Williams accused his brother of doing, what was being a deviant, an sexual deviant, and y'all tried to make him sound like he was a PDF, even though he couldn't admit to anything. And now you've taken the video down because you found out that he's a mental patient who's been in and out of the hospital and he's been lying on his whole family for years.
Why haven't you, as the boss, said condolences to my friend, my fellow comedian, Reggie Carroll? There's a lot of people that are angry about Reggie. A lot. A lot. And it's kind of
My God. Like I said, there is something extremely wrong with what we got going on online these days. How do we just let people just lie on people? Now, I just want to remind you guys, in the past 24 hours, she lied on this man. This man had to come forward, and the man that was accused of so-called putting his hands on him also had to come forward and deny that any of this was true. In the past 24 hours, this weirdo lied, and at least 20 some odd different content creators have come forward with videos about a story that never happened. Yeah, the fact that she took it down, she had to take it down because people probably told her, this is who he is. Here is the evidence that this man is mentally ill. And if you don't take that crap down, we gonna take it and we gonna ride your ass to hell. You know? 24 hours. 24 hours. Fake news trash can. You're working with a woman that extorted this man, throwing around AI content. Isn't it funny how Pam Esquire was talking about how one of the lawyers against Cat Williams got sanctioned for using AI? And if that's not, like, gee whiz, man. Yeah, like, who haven't you lied on? You got this guy, and I'm not even mad at him. I'm not even mad at him. You entertain this. You have a million subscriber platform, and you get to sit there and you get to market to your million subscriber platform. Please come over to my website at the $12.99. And for $12.99, listen to this guy lie on his brother. This guy who was just recently released from a mental hospital and has a history of lying on his loved ones for attention. The question is, what kind of weirdo do you got to be to get a mentally ill person? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's who you are. Because my sister is borderline schizo, Trasha. She's borderline schizo. And she told you that my father raped me and impregnated me with my deceased son. And you put that in your documentary that you still have up online right now. And it's a bold-faced lie, and everybody in my family knows it. We could use 300 more likes, guys. I don't know why the likes stop as the commentary goes on, but please keep hitting that like button because we're getting ready to get out of here in a bit. I want y'all to think about what I just told you. My sister's mentally ill, and she's also a former crackhead. My sister used to smoke crack. She did all kinds of crazy things. And you sat there. You couldn't even get my sister to get on camera to tell those lies. You had to get my little cousins to come and tell my sister's lies for her. And then what you couldn't get them to say, you said yourself. You lied to the whole world and told the whole world that my father was a rapist who raped me and impregnated me with my deceased son. You're a sicko. And you've been a sicko, Trasher. So I'm not surprised at all that you would enlist this man who's been in and out of mental hospitals, who was looking for nothing more than attention and probably a couple of bucks, to come and lie on his very esteemed and astute and world-renowned, world-known brother, who was very much so beloved by the world, to call him a PDFer. And just to make sure that people are looking at Cat Williams like a piece of crap, you want to jump onto a story to attach him to a very unfortunate circumstance that had nothing to do with him because it wasn't there. He had been cleared for weeks. What I do know is that the industry went out of their way to try to make anybody who ever spoke up against people from the industry, including people like Diddy, including people like Jay-Z, including people like Dwayne Wade, including people like LeBron James, like anybody who spoke up against any of these people, including people like Beyonce, including people like her dirty secrets. She's got a bunch of them, but the truth is nobody cares about her. Nobody cares about her at all. But I do know about some terrible things that she's allegedly done and some people that she's allegedly had set up to take the fall for committing crimes that they didn't do. There was a young man once upon a time told me that she was at a party where somebody gave him something to drink and it had a little something special in it. And she took that young man and left that young man out in the middle of the streets in Louisiana to be hurt, to be jumped. But I ain't gonna drop no names, and we'll say it's all alleged. She's a very, very, very nasty person, Jane. But understand this. It doesn't matter if it's true. It doesn't matter if it's a lie. What she's gonna do is that she's gonna find a way to monetize it and make money off of it. And feed all of the content creators that come up underneath her. You know, all of the bloggers that she was talking about, they get together and they talk, and how many people are going to do this. Yeah, she has to feed all of them. And guess what? If they get to put her name to it, then guess what? That keeps her name out there just a little bit longer, because the truth is her name is dying. So it's a platform. For her to have the platform that she has, she ain't really going viral like that no more. She don't go viral. She don't. What she has is a bunch of people on this app who pass around her lies and tell her lying ass stories to try to find a way to keep her relevant. See how it works? She does the main lying, and then they do reactions to all of the lies. So then this way, when it comes back a lie, they get to go and make another video about it, and then they get to argue about it and go back and forth about it, and it's not their fault, right? It's sick. So I just want y'all to just take a good look at her latest victims. Her latest victims. Her latest stories. I want y'all to just take a look at that. How anybody is willing to share anything that comes from her first. It's unbelievable to me. But what I will say is this. If I see you're a content creator and you're sharing a story that originated from her, I'm going to unsubscribe and make sure I put do not recommend channel, because you're just as big a liar as she is. There's absolutely no way in the world anybody should feel comfortable sharing content that originated from her and call themselves a real content creator. There's no way. There's no way she tells this lie last night and there's at least 1 million views about a fake story in less than 24 hours. There's no way. There's no way if this isn't a hustle. She do look like Shanae. She do. But just in case y'all don't remember, this is how she dressed on Halloween, pretending to be Krishan Rock while she has a baby strapped around her neck that she was sitting there pouring alcohol down the throat, that poor unfortunate child. Yeah, she's running out of lies. She goes from lie to lie to lie to lie to lie. And I just wanted y'all that's I just wanted to wrap the week up with that. You know, it's the Sabbath for me. Sabbath is coming in and this is the time where I focus on telling the truth and just sticking to God's word as much as possible. And thank you, Natanya, for coming through and clarifying this demon crapping all over the scripture. God is not the author of confusion. But this whole right here is. She is. She really is the author of confusion. Look at what she did. She got online. She lied on job rule, told a story to the point where this man had to actually get there. I think it even made it to the Breakfast Club. If I'm correct, let me see. I think the Breakfast Club actually did a story about it, which is kind of pathetic. Yeah, Breakfast Club did a story about it. Ja Rule debunks rumors about alleged fight at New York restaurant. Guess what? 70,000 views in 11 hours. Going back to the Brandy Monica concert, there were reports last night that Ja Rule got into, that he got jumped. So Ja Rule got on X. You were there, so you didn't see that though. Well, first of all, the reports weren't even that it happened at the Brandy Monica concert. Ja Rule cleared it up. And then I found out more information and found out that it happened at the concert. But the reports were that he got jumped outside of a restaurant in New York. But Ja Rule got on X and cleared it up. He said
he said somebody did try to jump him. It wasn't at the restaurant that was mentioned, say less. He says he's currently, or a few hours ago, he was chilling, smoking a joint, watching SVP with not a scratch on him, with the laughing emoji. So from what I was told, there was a scuffle that went down backstage at the Brandy and Monica concert. Ja Rule was actually supposed to come out and perform. They would have went crazy. Oh my God. That crowd would have went insane for Ja Rule. Yeah, he was supposed to come out and perform. On his way to the stage is where this little scuffle went down. And from what I understand, his camp isn't even really for sure what caused the scuffle or like where it came from, but it happened and he didn't perform, but he's okay. And everybody, people don't like to come outside. Like what? Exactly. What the hell trying to scuffle with you? I don't know. Now understand that was that story, and that was on the Breakfast Club, 70,000 views. Let's go over to Ticket TV. Let's take a look at what Ticket TV had to say. It was one of them breaking news stories. It's always breaking news. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, breaking news. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna play Ticket. I think I'm just gonna pull up, if I can, the transcripts. Where can I find the transcript? Here we go. Okay. On where? Hold on a second. Let me. Here we go. Show the transcript. Okay, Ja Rule was in a dangerous situation. And you guys let me know if y'all can, okay, hear me in the comments. Okay, all right, here we go. Apparently, rapper Ja Rule was hurt very badly as he apparently was ambushed outside of a restaurant. I'm going to give y'all the details. Just let me know if y'all can hear me. This is Ticket TV. I'm reading his transcripts. Okay, he wants to know if everybody can hear him. He wants to make sure there ain't no audio problems. He wants to tell everybody to hit the like button. Let's see. Okay, he says, so according to reports, early this morning, Ja Rule, who is 49 years old, whose real name is Jeffrey Bruce Atkins Sr., was reportedly ambushed and physically assaulted by multiple individuals outside the Say Less restaurant. Remember that restaurant football player that a football player just got pow-powed at from the New York Jets. And he was sent to the hospital, and right now he's recovering. Do y'all hear this? This is what Ticket TV had to say. Okay? Jeffrey Bruce Atkins, 49 years old, rapper Ja Rule, was physically assaulted by multiple individuals outside the Say Less restaurant in New York City and is currently at the hospital right now recovering. Thank God he saved his life. Well, Ja Rule apparently was at Say Less, which is a high-end Japanese restaurant located at
8th West 40th Street in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. Venue is known for its upscale sushi offerings and celebrity clientele. You know, it has a dim lit, intimate atmosphere popular among nightlife enthusiasts. Ja Rule was allegedly, according to reports, attacked shortly after he dined there. Now, as he left the premises around 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, according to multiple eyewitnesses, accounts, and sources close to Ja. The attack was described as pretty bad, involving a sudden group attack that left him in the need of immediate medical attention. Now, basically, according to the reports, what happened was Ja was spotted inside the restaurant early that evening while dining casually with a small entourage. Now, social media posts from patrons confirmed his presence there, with some users noting that he appeared relaxed and engaged in conversation. I gotta stop.
Well, I'm shocked. The only reason why I'm shocked, this nigga last name is Bruce. I mean, middle name is Bruce. Ain't that a bitch? Kind of. Never mind.
Lil Bruce. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? This is Ticket TV. Ticket TV went live with this. And he's saying that this was confirmed by patrons that were in the restaurant. Do y'all hear me? Now, social media posts from patrons confirmed his presence there, with some users noting that he appeared relaxed and engaged in conversation. Now, no prior altercations were reported inside the restaurant. Now, as Ja Rule stepped outside onto the sidewalk, a group of 3 to 5 unidentified men, describing reports as wearing dark clothing and appearing coordinated, approached him rapidly from the street or nearby alley. Wait a minute. Was it the street or was it a nearby alley?
That's interesting. It was a street or like
approached him rapidly from the street or nearby alley. Now, sources indicate that the attack was unprovoked and premeditated, with the assailant shouting explicit before surrounding and striking him. This sounds like a cartoon. Now, the assault lasted approximately 30 to 45 seconds, and involving punching to the face, body, and kicks while he was on the ground.
he got stomped out. He got kicked in the face.
Now, Ja Rule. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, guys, but this is insane. This is insane. This is insane. But wait, there's more. Okay? Now, Ja Rule's security detailed two bodyguards into. I'm sorry. Ja Rule's security detail two bodyguards. It's the way he talks that messes up the transcript. Hold on a second. Okay, so his detail of two bodyguards. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I gotta pull it back. I gotta pull it back because it went back. Okay. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. These transcripts get to moving. Okay, so his detail of two bodyguards intervened, quickly using physical force to disperse the attackers. Bystanders, including restaurant staff, captured partial video footage of their foes, showing the chaos, but not the full prelude. Now, John managed to retreat to an awaiting vehicle, but not before sustaining visible injuries. Now, the NYPD officers from the Midtown South Precinct. Do you hear this? NYPD from Midtown arrived from the precinct within 5 minutes, responding to a 911 call reporting the active assault. Now, the scene was secure, but the suspects fled on foot. Okay, he continues to go on talking about EMS. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Now, the scene was secured, but the suspects fled towards Bryant Park and have not been apprehended as of late February of today. Late November of today. Right now, paramedics from the FDNY and EMS treated Ja on site before transporting him to the New York Presbyterian Will Cornell Medical Center for evaluation. Now, Ja Rule, according to reports, suffered multiple injuries, and y'all smashed the like button, including a possible concussion from blows to the head, facial bruising, and swelling around the left eye and jaw, rib contusions, and minor lacerations on his arm and hands from defensive wounds. No broken bones or life-threatening injuries were reported initially, but he was kept overnight for observation due to the severity of head trauma. Now, sources close to him stated that he was unconscious, that he was conscious and alert, but in significant pain. And one insider told Tasha K that it looked pretty bad.
That lets you know the consortium, the YouTube mafia.
Do y'all hear this?
About, because obviously this is cap.
I just read you. Ticket TV. I just read you his commentary on this video. And when did he put this video out? Right around the time it was happening, 18 hours ago, which means the second that Tasha K ran with the story, he was all over it.
That's pretty good.
Y'all understand? Y'all understand? Chat GPS was busy. Mhm. That's what Ticket TV ran with. And of course, the video is titled Breaking News. More like Breaking Wind. Now, it's funny to me because there's somebody else who's been sitting on the YouTube telling everybody that Ticket TV reads from the paperwork, he is right and correct, and that the only person that they trust, or one of the only people that they trust, is Ticket TV. And telling everybody that they ought to go and listen to Ticket TV. Well, we just went on over there.
Huh.
And we just read his transcript. Now, I'm no fan of the Breakfast Club. But let's be clear. They went and they got a statement from Ja Rule himself. Not from sources, close to, not from this, not from that.
They went straight out of the horse's mouth.
They went and got it from Ja Rule, who apparently wasn't in the Cornell Hospital, who hadn't been taken there by EMS, who didn't have lacerations, who didn't have contusions, who didn't have broken skin, who didn't have a concussion, who wasn't attacked. Was there a scuffle? Apparently, yeah, there was a scuffle. There was a little dust up, but it was nowhere near that restaurant. It was at the Brandy and Monica concert because Ja Rule was supposed to perform with them, and he did perform with them because things got a little nasty. Max B done already said what he had to say. They done told all kinds of stuff and said all kinds of things. But the simple fact that he was stupid enough to mention Tasha K, that insider, that sources said that Tasha K said it was really bad. Yeah. Wasn't even at the restaurant. But Ticket read a report that said that patrons and employees of the restaurant had video footage. Midtown Precinct showed up. Assailants dressed in dark clothes who escaped on foot to Bryant Park. Like, what's really interesting is that skilled liars like to use a lot of detail in their lies to make them sound more believable.
Peace.
So, I got one question to ask. Did somebody send this shwill over the Ticket and he ran with it because he was told to?
Well, it could be that network I was saying, remember?
Or did he make it all up himself?
I think it's that network.
I think somebody ought to go over there and ask Ticket TV about his breaking news story regarding Ja Rule. Because that was a very detailed account. And if he's over there making this shit up himself, then I think all of his subscribers should know about it. Because apparently there's some people here on YouTube that really, really, really believe his commentary. That believe everything that comes out of his mouth because he reads the paperwork and he does his research. And everything that he says is spot on par. he invented or he was given. Now I'm willing to give him a pass. I'm willing to believe that Tasha K came up with all of that crap and told him to run with it. But if that's the case, then that means we now have evidence that Ticket TV is getting his content from a known liar and a disinformationist who was sued for lying and still can't afford to pay. It's kind of sad. I don't know. What do y'all think? Put a 4 in the chat if you think Ticket came up with this all by himself. Put a 5 in the chat if you think he's just following orders from his content accomplice, Tasha K. 4 in the chat if you think he came up with this all by himself. Or 5 if you think this is evidence that he's been colluding with Tasha K and getting his information from Tasha K and a part of the disinformation network here on the YouTube. Yeah, Ticket likes cussing people out, but so what? What is he cussing people out for? I mean, do I need to go and like pull up the descriptions in his videos, G? Let me look at the description. Join this channel to get access to perks at Ticket TV Media. Donate to Ticket TV. Donators over $5,000 are platinum VIP members. Donators over $1,000 are gold VIP members. You pay them $100, you get a wrench. I'm just curious. As far as I'm concerned, the A weapons person is him. I believe his shit is a whole fucking hustle, G. And I've been feeling that way for a minute. But this Ja Rule story, he went just a little bit too far. He went just a little bit too far. And you know, I've never smacked him. I've never smacked him like this before. But on this story, I gotta smack him. I gotta smack him hard too. I know people lost their mind when you called him out 7 to 8 months ago. Natanya, I know. I know. But the truth is, the only reason you called him out was because he came for you for absolutely no reason at all. He came for a real Diddy survivor. I want y'all to think about how that looks now. It was almost like he was ordered to come after Natanya, which is what I initially said. It didn't make any sense for him to be coming after Natanya that way. She was a real survivor. And he was supposed to be so anti-Diddy, you know? He was so angry at Diddy. It's funny because when it came time for the verdict to come in, he kept trying to sell this story about how he thought Diddy should get 10 years because of Shine and whatever the case may be. And he told the story so wrong. Because the truth is that Shine had his own crime, but he ended up taking the fall for everything. but he he did time for his own crime. What, the internet hates you? Look, I know they hate it when you be right. Listen to me. I know they hate it when you be right, and guess what? They hate it when I be right too. They hate it. They hate it when the people that actually tell the truth are right. But consider this your vindication today, sis. Consider this your vindication. Because Ticket TV ran with a whole lion ass story, fully detailed, about something that did not happen. And even considering what did happen, it happened nowhere near where he said it happened. There was no fire department. There was no police. There was no EMS. There was no treatment on site. There was no contusions. There was no broken skin. There was no concussions. He wasn't held at the hospital overnight. Matter of fact, he said he walked away untouched, unharmed. And sources say, who are your sources? You know what, Natanya? Maybe somebody needs to go over there and ask Ticket to cite his sources on this Ja Rule story. Amen to that. Maybe somebody needs to ask Ticket to cite his sources. Because it sounds like if he didn't make that up all by himself, somebody lied to you, G. Or maybe that's what you do here on YouTube. You just spread lies for one of the biggest liars on the internet. Sources: Tasha K said it was really bad. Breaking news! Breaking news! Rapper Ja Rule hurt badly. Jumped by 5 men outside restaurant in New York. Mm. See, it's that line. It's that line right there. Now, sources close to him stated. Sources close to Ja Rule, is that who him is? Sources close to Ja Rule stated that he was conscious and alert, but in significant pain. And one insider told Tasha K that he looked pretty bad and that he was not in good condition immediately after. Cap, cap. I wonder how many people donated over there today. See here they breaking news story from Ticket TV. I wonder how many $5,000 cash app he got today. Breaking news. Ticket TV be lying. Ain't that the truth? Breaking wind. I'm full of crap. Man, I might have to make me a little short. I might just have to do that. I might just have to do that. Breaking news, man. I'm telling you. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, he got 1K the other day. Somebody donated him $1,000. I wish somebody would donate us people that be telling the truth $1,000. Man, if I could get the kind of donations that he got, man, ain't that something else? Yeah, breaking wind. I'm full of crap. Yup, that's exactly what it is. But on that note, y'all, look, I'm gonna get ready to go have some supper. And all I can say is this. Don't believe the hype. Like, for real. Like, don't believe the hype. And Ticket TV, you got some explaining to do, sir. You need to cite your sources. You need to cite your sources. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.